I am James Blanchard, and I am honored to be reading this citation today. The highest distinction the Senate of the University can confer upon an individual is an honorary doctorate. At the University of Manitoba, the criteria include distinguished achievement in scholarship, the arts, or public service. Our honorary graduate this morning is Thomas Quinn. Dr. Thomas Quinn is a world-renowned scientist known for his groundbreaking HIV/AIDS research. He was one of the first researchers to identify the AIDS epidemic and its cause, the HIV virus. As one of the top clinician scientists in the world, he has been a leader in the world's response to the HIV/AIDS pandemic, working to decrease the rate of illness, the number of deaths, and reduce transmission rates with antiretroviral therapy, particularly in developing countries. In addition, through a clinical trial, his team reported the benefits of voluntary male circumcision to reduce HIV acquisition by half in Uganda. Dr. Quinn is currently a professor of medicine and pathology at Johns Hopkins University and is the founding director of the university's Center for Global Health. He is also an NIH Distinguished Investigator and Associate Director of International Research at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Dr. Quinn earned his Master of Science from Notre Dame University in 1970 and his medical degree from Northwestern University in 1974. He has published more than 800 scientific articles with more than 52,000 citations. Based on his body of scholarly work, Dr. Quinn was elected a member of the National Academy of Sciences. He is also a fellow of the American Association for Advancement of Science, the Infectious Diseases Society of America, and an elected member of the Association of American Physicians. At the forefront of developing public health and research capacity in Africa, Dr. Quinn has mentored many clinicians and scientists. His leadership and commitment has contributed to the training of more than 13,000 healthcare providers in Africa to combat the AIDS epidemic. He co-founded the Academic Alliance of AIDS Care and Prevention and helped build the largest infectious disease institute in East Africa at Honorary University in Kampala, Uganda. Dr. Quinn is on the editorial boards of several high-impact scholarly journals, including the Journal of Clinical Investigation, AIDS, Lancet Global Health, and the Journal of Infectious Diseases. He also serves as an advisor to the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization on sexually transmitted diseases and AIDS, and chaired the board on global health for the National Academy of Medicine. Dr. Quinn is the recipient of multiple honors and distinctions over the course of his career, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Charles C. Shepard Science Award, an American College of Preventive Medicine Award, and the International Association of Providers of AIDS Care's Heroes in Medicine Award. He is also the recipient of the Distinguished Leader Award in Global Health from the Consortium of Universities for Global Health. In 2009, the University of Manitoba honored him with a Distinguished Visiting Lectureship Award. Madam Chancellor, it is an honor for me to ask, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Manitoba, that you confer a Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Dr. Thomas Quinn for his commitment to understanding the complexities of the HIV virus and his pursuit of improving the health of people around the world.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Thomas Quinn to address Convocation.
Dr. Blanchard, thank you very much for that introduction. And I am truly, duly honored and humbled to be here before all of you today. Good morning to you all. And President Benarouche, Chancellor Mann, Dean Nickerson, Provost Herbert Murphy, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, but most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2023. You've earned it, and we are here to honor you. Thank you so much for this honor on this very special occasion. I'm truly humbled by an honorary degree, and I thank President Benarouche and the Senate of the University of Manitoba for this honor. And in return, it is my honor to address you and honor you, the graduates of 2023. Each of you have accomplished so much, but so much lies ahead for each of you. It's truly an exciting time as you move from one chapter of your medical education to the next. You've already witnessed and worked under the stress of one of the deadliest global pandemics of our time. 7 million fatalities around the world in the short span of just 3 years. The fact that you've successfully navigated each hurdle that the pandemic has put before you and sit here today is a testimony to your resilience, to your resolve, and strength of character. Take those public health lessons from COVID and the patients that you've already learned from and apply them going forward in your own careers. Undoubtedly, in the years to come, you're going to be faced with many more challenges, opportunities, successes, and failures. And the decisions that you make today and tomorrow with each patient that you might encounter will really shape what kind of person you are, what type of physician you will be. A good friend of mine, Dr. Peggy Hamburg, a great public health leader, said the following: never stop learning, never stop asking questions, never forget that medicine is an art as well as a science, practiced by doctors and researchers who bring to the bedside and to the bench, and I'm going to extend this quote, to the community, not only technology and training, but also their humanity, their caring, and their concern for others. Passion, empathy, and a lifelong quest for knowledge are the key ingredients to success in any endeavor. But it's particularly important in being a caring and outstanding clinician. When I graduated from medical school, I wanted to pursue my passion for infectious diseases. I wanted to understand how these diseases were spread, how I could help to prevent and treat them. That passion took me on my journey, just as you are all starting your own journey for today and tomorrow. Now, it's understandable that on this day, you feel you no longer are really a student. Forget that. You are going to continue to be a student for a long time to come. And I like, we call it a perpetual student, and that you are and will be. And I like to quote one individual, Sir William Osler. Now, he was a famous Canadian physician that the United States stole, and he became the chief physician in chief of the Johns Hopkins Hospital where I work, and he is honored every day there. And he said the following: to study the phenomenon of disease without books is to sail an uncharted sea, while to study books without patients is not to go to sea at all. I thought Dean Nickerson might enjoy that from our conversations yesterday. I take heart to this particular quote because sailing is my passion. As I learned, Dean Nickerson also enjoys it. But we're talking about education, and I urge you to embrace the continual process of learning as you pursue the wide range of careers that really lie before you. Which leads me to my next point of this discussion. Expect the unexpected. Planning and charting one's path in life is something we routinely do. You plan to come here to obtain a degree in medicine. However, in my own experience, some of the most impactful events that have touched my life and the directions that I have taken have been completely unanticipated and unplanned. You're at that period in your lives where you have the potential to do almost anything. Keep an open mind, do not shy away from dreaming the impossible dreams and seizing the unanticipated opportunities that come before you. Now, reflecting on my career, I also see some parallels in our pathways. As you have endured training under the cloud of COVID, I emerged post-training to witness the emergence of a brand new disease called AIDS. In those early years of AIDS pandemic, I was fortunate enough to be offered to travel to investigate in Haiti first, then Africa, and then into Asia, to recognize and to report the disease in different populations and different cultures, and eventually help prove that a newly recognized virus called HIV caused the same disease everywhere. The virus doesn't see borders. It doesn't see particular cultures. It goes after all individuals. So I would say that from that experience, I really thought I could apply the knowledge of, after 2 decades of working on this virus, that I could apply this knowledge and diagnosis and prevention to all patients around the world, working with my colleagues. But unfortunately, I was faced upon failure and a failure in terms of efforts to control or even treat this disease for 20 years. It was from these failures that ultimately did lead to sentinel discoveries of treatment and biomedical means of prevention, some of which you heard. The lesson I take from this personal story is not to let failures dissuade you from pursuing your passions or quest for more knowledge. Use those failures for the future discovery. Believe in yourself and your ability to find success no matter how many failures you endure. I often like to quote Winston Churchill, a very brilliant individual, and he said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." Keep that in mind. Once new treatments for AIDS did eventually become available and survival increased in all the wealthy countries, including Canada. But the inequities of access to treatment and care in the poor countries of the world became absolutely overwhelming. Let's face it, these inequities have always existed within our own borders. You may have witnessed it during the COVID pandemic, as I have. As physicians, we need to highlight and address those inequities here and abroad. That's what global health is all about. Addressing gross inequities in the obtainment of health for all people. For AIDS, it eventually brought life-saving treatment for HIV-infected people globally, not just for the wealthy countries. For COVID, it was about early and equitable access to vaccines and therapy. We can accomplish this goal by practicing those attributes I mentioned earlier: passion, and a willingness to act, empathy for our patients, and a recognition that through further knowledge and advocacy, we can make a difference in the lives of all. These two pandemics, the worst ones in modern history, put medicine and public health on the map as never before. Access to preventative vaccines or to life-saving therapeutics and the health outcomes of those who fall sick with AIDS or COVID-19 map the fault lines of our global society. It will take decades of dedicated commitment to address these disparities, and I strongly urge you to be a part of that commitment. We can make a difference in the lives of others worldwide, and I believe that same dedication is reflected in the passion of many other physicians, scientists, activists, community leaders who are leading the charge to help those in greatest need here and abroad. At the University of Manitoba, I look to the past and present faculty members like Dr. Jamie Blanchard, Alan Ronald, Frank Plummer, Stephen Moses, Rosanna Peeling, Lyle McKinnon, and I could go on and on. Many others who have dedicated their lives to generating new knowledge and to improve the lives of all. We have a saying in global health that global is local and local is global. I hope some of you will take your skill sets that you have earned today to take those to most in need, whether it be here in Canada or in the poorest countries of the world. It's really a transformative process and learning experience. And Abraham Lincoln said, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Congratulations to all the graduates of 2023, to your families, to your loved ones, and to all the faculty who have worked so hard to see you here today. For in medicine, in global health, in life, you are our future. Go forward and become great physicians to us all. Thank you very much for this honor, and congratulations.